Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. Now today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I have a special shout out for the crew over at OutrightGeekery.com. This is a really cool website with all kinds of geek info, and I will have a link to them down in the description box. Now in the past I've mentioned from time to time I will do reviews on comic books that aren't necessarily DC. DC will of course always be the focus of DC Fans United, but from time to time I will review comic books on other publishers. So this is Vampirella issue 0, which came out this year in 2017, and I'm going to be doing a review of it. Now the really cool thing with this comic is it has a very special sale price of only 25 cents, which I couldn't really, wrap my head around at first, but apparently that's something Dynamite does from time to time. So in a prologue issue like this, sometimes they'll have the price be really low, and in this case it's only 25 cents. So since it's such a steal, I'm actually going to put a link to where you can buy it in the description box. So this was written by Paul Cornell. The cover is by Philip Tan, and the other art is by Jimmy Broxton. This issue has a couple of variant covers, which are pretty cool, and I will show them near the end of the review. So this is the main cover for the issue. I like it quite a bit. The Vampirella, where it says Vampirella, that's kind of her classic logo. That looks cool, and I think the image itself is really neat. It looks like her clothing is made up of bats, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, it's really a good cover. It's well centered, and I like the colors and everything. So the colorist on this is the same as the artist, Jimmy Braxton, and to me it looks like digital coloring. So on the very first page you get the credit page, and it mentions the variant covers as well. So cover B is by Joseph Michael Linsner, and cover C is by J. Scott Campbell. Alright, so the first actual story page, we start off and we see these three people walking through the snow. It's kind of cool. They've got kind of it's like a camera, the view is panned back. So that's kind of cool. It's real artistic. I think you get this sort of style more in these smaller companies like Valiant and Dark Horse, and in this case Dynamite. They go for this more artsy style. So that's pretty neat, I guess. At first, to me, it was a little strange. I'm still getting used to it. Oh, and on the bottom of every page it has this little sort of narration thing. And on this page it says, "During this scene, Vampirella is dreaming of how peaceful it is in space." So these three are walking, as you can see, and the one on the back says, "I'm not used to physical exercise," and the guy in the middle says, "No, you do not stop here. Not where they can still see us." So when I read that, I was pretty intrigued, and that is a really good thing. If they can kind of hook you on the first page, that's a really, that's a sign of some good writing. And then the woman says, "He's right." So we go to the next page, we get a full splash page, and it says the title of the issue. So it is called Forbidden Fruit Prologue, and it continues with the little pink narration on the bottom, and it says, "Vampirella is dreaming of falling. Vampirella is dreaming of hugging great heaps of blissful soil." So I kind of think that is basically telling us what Vampirella is doing while these guys are doing what they're doing. So the guy in the middle here on this page says, "They'll know we've gone. They'll detect the slight decrease in joy. No going back now." So that's pretty intriguing, I thought. And we go to the next page, and they're going along, and they have a little bit of an argument. And they mention that they have a map. And one thing that this comic does, which is a little weird, is it has it blacked out wherever there's a serious swear word. I'm not really sure why, but that's what they did in this issue. If you have the physical copy, let me know if it's like that in that one too. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be the same in the digital and the print, but I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, it's a comic about a vampire. A little profanity isn't going to hurt anyone, in my opinion. So this is all my opinion. And on the bottom of this page, it says, "Vampirella is dreaming of shedding her skin." I thought that was a little creepy. And on the next page, the guy says, "This damn..." See here they say damn, so they're just blocking out the really serious swear words. So he says, "Damn paper map doesn't move with my eyeline, but yes, I think yes, it fits the picture. This is it. She's down there. So that's kind of cool. That kind of indicates that they're probably sometime in the future if they have these futuristic maps that move with your eye. But then on the bottom panel you see, they found us, and there's all these creepy looking flying things. I assume they're vampires. And then we go to the next page. So the one guy in the group decides to sacrifice himself so the other two can escape. A little cliche, but in this situation it actually made sense. The one thing I thought was weird, though, is the guy who was having trouble keeping up isn't the one who stays behind. So I figured, okay, you leave the slow guy behind. It's cruel, but that's what you gotta do. But they leave the other guy behind, I guess because he's the one with the machine gun. They don't really explain it. So he's firing his machine gun at the crowd of vampire type things. And then we see this next page and it says boom, and they say, oh wow, he blew himself up. Because they went into a cave and he blew up the entrance, so the whatever those things are can't follow him. So they are going deeper and deeper. They say the map just says that she's down underneath everything. So it's kind of cool. It's straight to the point. These guys are clearly looking for Vampirella. And on the next page it says hours later, there, it's her, it must be. So they're kind of, they don't have to spend too much time looking around for her, which is alright. Comic books, it only has so many pages. They just hit the highlights. I don't think they'd have a bunch of pages of them stumbling around in the dark like they probably would have had to do in reality. So they find the tomb, and then they open it up, and they say, so much decay. Oh no, we've risked everything for. Is it her? And they say, we'll find out soon. And then they talk about how they can't feed her slowly. So I was like, oh dear, that's gonna be something bad. So you see this next page and it says Vampirella needs to live, and she's rising up out of her tomb. And then we get this full splash page as she says rah and rises up, and then she realizes, oh, I was in a tomb, where am I can't remember, because she's been dreaming, as the narration has shown, and she is now resurrected. I mean, she wasn't dead per se before, but she was all decayed and looked like a corpse. Well, this guy and this woman killed themselves and poured their blood on her to revive her. So it's kind of disturbing, and she wakes up and realizes that, and she's like, oh wow, thank you. She actually says that. And then we go to the next page, and it's kind of cool because she doesn't have any of her memories, but she finds this old book, which it isn't explained who left it there, but it actually kind of talks about her exploits and what she's been through in the past a little bit, so it catches her and us up on what's going on. So I thought that was really kind of a clever thing to include. It mentions her planet of Draculon and all kinds of stuff, and it even shows a little picture of her outfit that she wore in the 2016 comic, which got a lot of ridicule. People like to see her wear her normal Vampirella outfit, which is basically a sling bikini. So we go to the next page. She's reading along and she says, oh, the stories just end. So she doesn't know how she ended up where she is exactly. As she's regaining her powers, she can tell there's something wrong with the essence of the world. So she says, what is that smell? I'm sure I'm still on Earth, but something has changed right to its essence. Something has gone wrong with reality. And we go to the next page, and it shows her climbing up out from under the earth, and it says, is anybody up there? I'm coming, you blanked up world. I'm hungry all over again. So that's really cool, but if they hadn't blacked out the word, I don't know. To me, that any kind of censoring like that really detracts from it. Like, why didn't they just write, you screwed up world, if they didn't want to have to edit it? So that's the last page of the actual comic. And then we get 4 pages of these black and white pages. So this is the art before it was colorized. So this is an exclusive this is some exclusive content you get if you buy the digital copy, which I thought was really cool, especially for only a quarter. So there's 4 more pages there, the black and white ones, and then there's these 2 variant covers, which I thought were really good. I don't know if I like them better than the cover they used, but they're both really great and kind of have the classic Vampirella look to them. So that is Vampirella issue 0. I thought it was really great. I would absolutely recommend it. For a quarter, for $1, for $4, it's definitely as good as the $3.99 comics you see in the comic book shop. So I'd give it 5 out of 5. Maybe a 4 out of 5, but then when you factor in paying just a quarter, that made it pretty good. Alright, so that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. If you've read this issue, if you like the character of Vampirella, what you think of me doing reviews of comic books that aren't necessarily DC. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I will have more reviews of this series coming out, and I will also continue reviewing Countdown to Final Crisis. Alright, and that's all. Thank you.
End of line.